If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. I believe the first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. Welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. In today's video I'll be showcasing and breaking down an assault rifle build capable of 206% plus critical hit damage and 287% plus weapon damage. I'll be combining my favourite exotic AR, the Chameleon, with a gear set I've always hated in PvP but found love for in PvE. With changes to talents and new exotics being added in TU11, I had to revisit a gear set I used in a build video that blew up. A build I really enjoyed using in a previous update, a build that reached over 70,000 views and received 1.5 thousand likes. The gear set that I'm talking about is Negotiator's Dilemma. Negotiator's 2-piece gives us 15% critical hit chance, the 3-piece gives us 20% critical hit damage, and the 4-piece gives us the Hostile Negotiator's talent. Critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 total marks. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, gain plus 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times, or until combat ends. In my last Negotiator's Dilemma build, I used the Bloodsucker Intimidate combo, which made it an all-out run and gun build. You had to kill to survive. Today's build is going to allow us to do the same thing, but also allow us to play from medium to long range as well, as I know not everybody likes to play the run and gun playstyle or can adapt to it. The reason we'll be able to do this is because we'll be using the chest piece talent Obliterate, which gives us a lot more consistent damage from 15 meters onwards. When it comes to the survivability of this build, we have 2 options, or 3 depending on the specialization you use. If you use the gunner specialization, you have 3 options, 1 being 10% armor on kill, which is something better than nothing, 2 will be 30% bonus armor on kill when you pick up a trophy, and 3 will be 3% armor regen. Both of these buffs we get from the exotic memento backpack short and long term buff. If you don't use the gunner, then you're left with bonus armor and armor regen. Now, what's great about these 2 options is they allow us to have 2 different playstyles. Bonus armor will allow us to run and gun playstyle, and the armor regen will allow us to have a slower, more sat back playstyle. The only thing is with the run and gun playstyle is it's a little bit more risky because we lack armor on kill and have to solely rely on bonus armor we pick up. With that being said, this build is great for doing heroic control points, which you need both playstyles for. I know a lot of people in the comment section have struggled with the run and gun playstyle when it comes to heroic control points, so I've made a build that gives us the best of both worlds. This build works for all heroic content from missions, bounties, control points and open world activities, whether it's done solo or in a squad. Before we get into a build breakdown, I just want to say I have noticed a lot more of you taking my advice with the Chameleon, even those of you who at first turned your nose up at it. The Chameleon in my opinion is one of the best, if not the best PvE assault rifle for run and gun builds in the game. With all the extra damage we gain through new talents and exotics, the Chameleon is also really good at range as well. It offers 90% weapon damage and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds on top of all the damage you gain from your build, which is absolutely insane. Also, when you go out of combat you keep the buffs and it restarts the 45 seconds when you get back into combat. So if you can get through parts of a mission in less than 45 seconds, you can hold the buffs throughout the whole mission. A lot of people complain about the buffs and how you get them, but it's honestly not that difficult. I think it's more the issue players don't like to work for their buffs. In my opinion, the Chameleon's talent is way better than talents like Close and Personal and Killer, Strained or Optimist. It offers a lot more damage and the buffs last a lot longer as well. The only real downside is building up these stacks to gain the damage buffs, but if you play smart, have good aim, it won't be a problem. So now I've spoke a little bit about the build, showcase a little bit of what it's capable of, let's get into a build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, and we are using the gunner. Main reason is because it gives us the 10% armor on kill, so it adds a little bit of survivability to the build. And then on top of that, it gives us the ammo. Now the ammo is really important, especially when you're doing control points, because you will run out of ammo. The community has a fast fire rate of 900 RPM, and you also have to build up the buffs as well. So if you're going to use this for control points, definitely run a gunner specialization. You can, if you're not doing control points, use specializations like the technician or the firewall. The firewall buff the shield, it will buff the shield health, and you gain damage from the shield as well. And if you use the technician, it's going to buff both these skills here, giving it more health, giving this more damage and duration, stuff like that. So this is a build that you can use more than one specialization with. So now we've covered the specialization, let's move on to the primary weapon. Of course, this is built around the Chameleon, which has got 82.8k base damage, 900 RPM and 50 in the magazine. As you can see, 15% assault rifle, 21% health damage and 8% critical hit chance. And then we have the adaptive instinct talent, hit 30 headshots grants plus 20% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. So what you want to do is make sure you have around 40% crit chance on the build, because the adaptive instinct talent will make up for the extra 20% you're missing out on. Hitting 75 body shots grants plus 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. Now this is a buff you can hold throughout a whole mission. If you're doing heroic missions, you can hold these 45-second buffs throughout a whole mission. All you have to do is clear the areas in under 45 seconds and it refreshes the buffs, and you just, like I said, you just continuously hold it throughout a whole mission, which is an insane amount of damage to have throughout a whole heroic mission. Moving on to our secondary, and I'm using the SIG MPX. Main reason is it's super strong, it has amazing range, and it hasn't got bad accuracy. So we have 103k damage on this one, we have 850 RPM, and then we have 50 in the magazine. 12.3% SMG damage, 17% critical hit chance, and 8% critical hit damage. Not the greatest rolls when it comes to the core attributes, but when it comes to the talent we use in close and personal, killing a target within 7 meters grants 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. What's great about this talent is that 30% weapon damage, of course, is going to up our base damage, but it also ups our crit as well. Moving on to our gear pieces now. So the first piece of Negotiator's Dilemma gives us 170k armor. Usually that would be a red core attribute, but switched out for armor. We have 10.5% critical hit damage, 11.9% critical hit damage via a mod. Moving on to our chest piece, which is a Fenris chest piece, giving us 10% assault rifle damage. We have 12.5% weapon damage, 3.8% critical hit chance, a very low roll, and we have 10.9% critical hit damage, and a mod giving us 12% critical hit damage. The talent we are using is Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. Using this talent is going to allow us to have better damage at range, and you're going to see that in the gameplay today. Whereas if we had Intimidate, you'd only get most of that damage within that 10 meters, and then you have a big damage drop off. Now the Chameleon has a damage drop off anyway because it's not made for range. It's kind of like a SMG AR hybrid, so it doesn't have the greatest range to begin with, but Obliterate makes up for that. Moving on to our holster now, and we have 15% weapon damage and 12% critical hit damage. And then we have our backpack, the Memento backpack, the new exotic added in TU11. We have 15% weapon damage. As you guys can probably see from previous videos, I did re-roll it. So we have better weapon damage, higher armor at 160k. We have the 1 skill tier, and then I have a mod on here with 11.5% critical hit damage. So if you guys don't know about this, for those of you who might be new, kill confirmed, enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides a short and long term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. So every time we pick up a trophy, we're going to get 20% weapon damage and 30% bonus armor, and then we'll get the 5% skill efficiency because we only have 1 yellow on the build. And then over time, for every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 3 seconds. So that's 5 minutes of these buffs, and if you total them all together, we'll have 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and then you have 3% armor regen. So that is what's going to give us our survivability at long range. Whenever you're at far and you're chipping away at NPCs and you're taking damage as well, you just duck down into cover and the armor regen is going to heal you up. So that's going to allow us to have that sit back playstyle that, you know, a lot of players like to use when they're using those rifle builds. Moving on to our gloves, we have the core attribute roll for 170k armor, and then we have 11% critical hit damage. Now as you can see, I have rolled blues onto my negotiators pieces. This is just so we can get the, you know, the extra armor, the bonus armor whenever we pick up a trophy. That's going to add up to the 30% like I said earlier, so that's why those pieces were re-rolled. Moving on to the knee pads, we have 14.8% weapon damage and 12% critical hit damage, and that is it for every piece of the build. If I could change anything, I would probably go for one more blue, because I feel like it's a good balance to have around 40% bonus armor. Moving on to the skills, and of course we are using the shield. We have 3.4 million health on this shield, and of course when you get the bust from the memento backpack, that obviously goes higher. I believe we reach around 4 million health. Also we get the damage buff on our drone, and that 22k goes up to 30k. When it comes to the mods on our shield, we're decked out on health at 4.6% shield health. We have 4.1% on this mod, and then we have the damage mod giving us an extra 4%. Now if you're running the firewall specialization, that's where that damage is going to come into play. I can gain an extra 11% damage, so if you guys want to go for more damage on NPCs, you don't feel like you're doing enough damage up close, feel free to switch out to the firewall specialization. When it comes to the mods on our drone, we have 6.7% duration, we have 9.2% health, and then we have 4.8% damage. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. I'm going to leave you guys with the stat sheet. I'm not going to talk through it. I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay. I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, as it really helps us grow. If you're new around here, hit that sub button to join the mod squad. We're gaining on 18k subs, guys. Thank you for all of your support on all of my videos this month. You guys are seriously blowing it out of the water. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, mod squad.
An agent needs assistance.
Got something for ya!
Vital signs critical.
No more contacts. All clear.
You just recovered intel that's going to be a whole lot of help to Odessa in the short term, but to all of us in the long run. You also effectively put this hellhole out of commission.
This armor is...
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Your goal is a collection of transcripts and notes from months of prisoner interrogations. The information is stored on a military-grade laptop, kept in the main holding area downstairs.
Hit her again!
The first priority is to release the prisoners to keep the True Sons busy. You'll be looking for some kind of security terminal. The security terminal should be somewhere nearby. Look around.
Active terminal detected.
Sounds promising. Find it and patch Isaac in. Okay, I'm in. Now to open the cells. And the cells are open.
If someone said, "Fucker, stop!" This fucker's dead.
The main holding area is downstairs. Get moving.
Unloading on target!
Yeah. We have a friendly down. Fuck yeah!
The True Sons seem to be in control of the holding area. The hyenas are knocking out security cameras. Pretty smart of them.
Found them! Gotta finish him!
Reinforcements en route.
Just lost the camera feed from the holding area. There was a bright flash and then static. Picked you up on camera again. The holding area is just ahead. Once you find that laptop, grab it and get the hell out of there.
Die to this! Looks like you got True Sons
reinforcements headed your way?
North or south side?
Both. Heavier concentration to the south.
With all those gates sealed, the north exit should be closer.
Overhead! Trying to break through! Come on then, fucker! What?
Are you shitting me?
Sweet got... Deploying turret!
No more contacts. All clear.
You just recovered intel that's going to be a whole lot of help to Odessa in the short term, but to all of us in the long run. You also effectively put this hellhole out of commission.